I would have missed that. And coming to you live from an old woman's house. Oh, shoot, I did it again. Coming to you live from Kenny's basement apartment, where it's soon to be Kenny and Sean's basement apartment bar and grill. It's Sports Allegedly.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for this episode on this day, 12/18/2023, on a Monday night. Got Sean to my right, special guest tonight. Joining us is Kaysen. Say hi, Kaysen. Wave at the yeah. And Kaysen's going to join us tonight for this podcast and get his interesting tidbits on, let's see, Minecraft and the Dallas Cowboys.
And Fortnite,
and Fortnite, yes. Fortnite. Yeah. All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. Sorry for the late start. We've got a bunch to talk about tonight. We're going to talk some USC downfalls, what's going wrong there. How about Nebraska? They got their quarterback of the future, as did, it looks like, Oregon. Is the future, not the now. And then we're going to talk a lot about some of the other portal and coaching moves in the college. We'll also touch a little bit on basketball as far as college. We'll talk about OU. Big game coming Wednesday. And then we'll also bring up, we want to review a little bit about the Thunder. But first, let's start with the most pressing issue. It's got to be the Dallas Cowboys. And the only reason
we're going straight to NFL.
And the only reason I bring up the Dallas Cowboys.
You talk about that, but they were a 2.5 point underdog to begin with.
Yeah.
So what does that say?
Well, I think home field advantage one. Dallas obviously has a losing record
on the road,
or they're about 500 on the road this year. Obviously, I think they're undefeated still at home. So that was a big part of it. The weather was going to be an issue, and let's be honest, the Cowboys haven't played well on the road for the last few seasons. Currently sitting at 10-4, obviously second in the NFC East after the loss this week to the Bills. And it wasn't just a loss. I mean, it was a drubbing by the Bills that they put on. It was a clinic. Now, what you got to concern being a Dallas fan, and the Cardinals game was an odd one early in the year, but you got to be concerned about the Bills coming in, and you going there and you getting killed, and then you went to the 49ers and they killed you there earlier in the year.
Yeah,
so
that was just a couple weeks ago, the 49ers game.
Oh, was that the first? Okay, that's right.
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago,
and wasn't even close there. Of course, there you go, talking about 2 road games. Dallas is not going to have home field advantage through the playoffs. Unless I don't even know if the miracle is possible.
Well, they had that first place. They had the first place in the East for about a week. They held on to that. Then they dropped it to the Bills, and now the Eagles are. Let's go ahead and see what that score is.
Currently
10-0.
That's pushing halftime right now in that Monday night.
Yeah, less than 2 minutes. Looks like Drew Lock is. Trying to get him in there. What are we looking at?
Second game in a row that
second
Drew Lock's,
7 on the 11. He did really well against the Niners last week.
And I think
until the Niners took over after halftime.
Geno still groin injury.
Geno's groin's out.
So, but anyway, I want to talk about Dallas because that's the concerning part. Now, if you remember, I said last week I thought the AFC champion was going to be the Bills, and while I even on my picks didn't pick Dallas I picked Dallas to win because they were the dogs. I thought Buffalo had a great showing.
Yeah, regular season champion, it looks like it's going to be the
Ravens.
The Ravens, and they played a tight game. They played a good game.
I thought that last night we're moving on to that game, but like I said, as we close, great win for the Bills. I think they needed that. That puts them right now at 8-6, and right there continuing to get because they currently aren't in the playoffs as before they started. Now,
they were in the hunt. Is what they
correct.
were at.
So as far as talk about the Ravens, they still right now have clinched. They have clinched. They're currently the 1 seed. They've clinched the playoff.
They're the only team that's clinched so far, which is weird because
in the AFC.
In the AFC, yes. Because coming into that, the NFC had already had Philly, Dallas, and San Francisco clinch.
Correct.
Whereas AFC coming into the Baltimore Sunday night game, they didn't have anybody.
You got
clinch.
The Cowboys clinching.
Yeah, it was Dallas, Philly, and San Francisco. Those are the only teams that clinched.
So current seeds right now is Dolphins 2, in this AFC, Dolphins are 2, Chiefs 3, Jaguars 4. I thought the Jaguars played a horrible game last night. Trevor Lawrence continues to look like the guy that I've said he was going to be from the beginning. Wins some games, loses big games.
Watching that was hilarious.
Yeah. So, and then you've got the Bengals with backup quarterback Browning, who's looking sensational. They're setting at 8-6, still in the playoffs. Colts are the 7th seed at 8-6, and then Texas, Bills,
Buffalo,
and Steelers. So all those teams.
Pittsburgh played themselves out of that game,
and they continue to play themselves out of the playoffs.
Out of that game, and you couldn't really blame it all on Trubisky, but I mean, he was a big factor in it, them not winning that game that they should have quite easily won.
I think that the AFC is a lot more interesting because I think the NFC is practically already set. You've got the top 4 seeds.
In a manner, because
you've got the top. You got 4 out of 5. You got 4 out of 5 ish. Yeah, you got
Tampa Bay still is not clinched.
No, and
they're setting tied with the Saints.
Currently in first place right now. And then the Saints are second, and Atlanta took the loss this week, and the Packers was a huge loss for them. I think everybody else beyond that
Kenny was out. On that love train.
Yeah, tried. I mean, and they look good. I thought the defense played horrid, but hey, you talk about Baker Mayfield, the guy that continues. We're Oklahoma fans around here, and we've consistently said that he could be a starting quarterback. But generally, the nationwide, they've continued to shit on him, even though his time at Cleveland was good. Look what the Panthers have done since he left. Nothing. They've actually gotten worse.
He made the Rams better when he went there because McVay knew what kind of quarterback he was.
Perfect quarterback rating against the Packers this week, 158.3, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I did. They won. They won 30. They won 30. They won 30. They won 34-20, and he's not. So he's on a 1-year, $4 million contract right now, and the guy's he's making money. Statistically, he's right in line with Brady's last year with the Bucs. And like I've said before, because I know the Bucs, their offensive line is not good.
No, it's not. But do you think that they're going to draft a quarterback? Or do you think they're going to go O-line?
No, I think they need to quit worrying about a quarterback right now, unless they want to get one 6th, 7th, or anyway,
get one later.
4th to 5th round. Don't get stupid and get somebody high, or don't trade away everybody. Next year, Tampa's got a lot of dead cap right now from the Brady and some other issues. So the goal is let's franchise Baker and then sign Mike Evans to an extension. The guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I've said this over and over.
Mike Evans love. Yeah, but Godwin outplayed him.
That game, yes, because I think he's getting more of the coverage. But I think he's pulling off to make those guys look better, and Baker is moving around to look at other receivers rather than going to Mike Evans every time. Which I mean, the guy's a Hall of Famer, no doubt. But I thought the other was the 49ers. They continue to yes. Casey, would you like to say something? What would you like to say? Huh? Go Cowboys? Is that
what you're trying to say?
No? Okay. So, big Cowboys fan over here.
Huge.
Tough week.
That's his mother's fault.
Week. Yeah, tough week. All right, so...
Yeah, did his mom cry when that game was going on?
No, I think she expected it.
I don't think she expected a drubbing.
No, not that bad. No. So, yeah, what do you want to say?
Just say it in the mic.
A lot of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, like what? Is it yet talking football?
We don't.
Okay. Oh, no. This is our football podcast.
We're talking football right now.
Football.
Yeah, football. So go Cowboys. No. So anyway, as don't touch that bed. But anyways, as we move on, the playoff picture is starting to look more clear in the.
No.
Yeah, and well, you're correct. NFC South is still not.
That's the only one it looks like, and then you're going to see what the wild card is, and it looks like the Rams. Yes.
Talking on here.
Yeah, I hear you.
We can hear you, bub.
Sean.
Yes, sir. What would you like to say about the NFL?
Now choose your words wisely.
Go Dallas Cowboys.
There you go. Okay.
Horrible.
Good job.
Horrible.
So as the playoff picture, it looks like the Rams are going to make it, and then it looks like.
That's what it looks like. We do not know.
No, I
bottom,
think they are.
The bottom two are still.
The Vikings took a bad loss this week. They had that game won, I thought.
Oh, my God.
And
Nick Mullins came out playing.
No, and then they had...
Nick Mullins came out playing. I mean, he was throwing.
That was a bad loss.
Cincinnati tried to lose that game.
That was overtime?
It was overtime, yeah.
Anyway,
I didn't get the coverage because I figured that the Bengals were going to trash it.
AFC looks to be set, except you're going to get those bottom ones. It's either going to be the Browns, Bengals, Colts. Colts with Minshew continues to look good, and he's a surprise.
Houston's trying to sneak in as well.
And then Houston. So
and Buffalo.
That's going to be a real tight race right there. And I was looking at the schedules to finish up. The Bills isn't as hard, and I think the the Bengals. Pull up the Colts schedule, and I'll look at the Bengals. The Bengals remaining schedule is definitely interesting as far as.
Oh, Indy has the Falcons, and then the Spastic Raiders, and then that Houston team that we don't know if they're for real yet or not.
That was the schedule I thought was more the easier one. Falcons.
One?
Yes. I thought the Colts.
Well, yeah, no, the Falcons game, yes, but after what the Raiders did to the Chargers.
Yeah, but did the Chargers just give up there? I mean, their coach got fired. All the rumors are.
Well, the coach got fired because of the game, and
Yeah.
they didn't really give up. That Raiders team was a complete team, from top to bottom. They beat the brakes off of the Chargers.
Well, and I thought that they did, and I thought that they've given up, and I think that's why the coach.
I think
fired.
at halftime they gave up.
Yeah, I think that. Well, and everything just went wrong for them, and it was one of those another prime game that was just boring as hell
We're
to
killing
watch.
more offense.
Yeah, which wasn't good. We called that, and I've called for the Staley firing for years. Should have been fired last year.
Well,
called
like
it all
I
year.
said, he had to ride a bus. He had to ride the poor bus with out of Vegas back to L.A. Because there's a loser bus that will take you from Vegas to L.A. I don't think it cost you anything. Maybe like $3.
So the hold on, get off that. I wanted to find the dadgum Bengals schedule as we finished at that because I know they play the Steelers. Okay, Steelers and Browns and Chiefs. See that they were the one that had the harder one. That's what I was trying to think. Because the Bengals they play at Steelers, at Chiefs, and they do get the Browns at home.
Yeah, do you believe in Joe Flacco?
I believe in that defense.
I believe in the defense too,
and I think that's been something more that's continued to carry that team. But Flacco, to his credit, has not made the big mistakes. And
not yet, no.
No, and
he's only played 2 games.
Correct, and I think were they 2-0, or did he lose that first one? I couldn't remember.
No, he won the first one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he won that first one. That was against Boobity-Boo.
And I thought the Bills go to Chargers. They play the Patriots and they play the Dolphins. So I would factor them in at 10-7 maybe. They might lose to the Dolphins, but if the Dolphins are already seated up at the last game,
that was the Jaguars game that he won.
Okay, so if they're already seated up at the end of the game, then it's not going to matter. What they're going to do is Miami more than likely, if they can't improve themselves,
see
are
that
going to have
Miami was going to be fighting for their lives at this point? Being exposed, a good defense would take them down. Nobody saw the Tennessee game coming about.
No, their defense we've talked about. Now Tyreek Hill missed this last game. Didn't need him. I mean they throttled. Their defense isn't ready, and it seems like they are the Cowboys of the AFC. I've said that before.
Yeah.
They remind me.
Yeah,
the offense, especially
we
at
realize
home,
that.
and it's going to be fun to see them in the playoffs. I think the NFL playoffs usually are you're talking about tight, most exciting. NFC, I would be real surprised if it's not the 49ers to be the representative, and like I said, I picked the Bills to be on the AFC side, but it could be Ravens or Chiefs. Or,
Miami,
don't count out
Miami
the Chiefs.
going in and beating a team without a quarterback because they knocked Zach Wilson out of that game. So.
Well, but I mean, you have to give them a little bit of credit
30-0 against some good defense.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Give them a little bit of credit because all we've heard all year is the Jets have one of the best NFL defenses, and statistically, you look at the stores. And that hurts them, and
that's what killed them.
Definitely. All right, let's move on to what do you want to talk about? Portal? I mean,
do we need? No. Well, we can do bowls real quick.
Oh yeah. We do need to talk about our bowl. Then we'll talk about the portal. Which, speaking of anybody's in any bowl contest right now, it's
horrible.
It's a bitch to play because you never know who he's playing. I mean, you're gonna have to look at the second and third stringers to see how.
Well, that's why I sent you. Jaden Daniels isn't playing for LSU. He's going to the draft
this week. We don't have a lot of exciting games. I thought the couple that I looked at that interested me a little bit was the Armed Forces Bowl in Fort Worth. That's going to be James Madison versus Air Force. Obviously, James Madison coach is gone. Air Force.
James Madison had one of the best seasons they've ever had.
Air Force, always a tough team, very detailed, super sharp, smart. So that's Troy Calhoun going to be there. Well, I'm surprised he hasn't. He's interviewed other places, but hasn't left. And I thought the other interesting.
He wants to live for job
the other interesting one was Duke at Troy. Troy's got a new coach. And Duke also will be playing with a new coach.
And a new quarterback.
So that's new. It's correct. So I think I think Troy probably wins that one. But Utah, Georgia State, South Alabama.
Troy just hired.
Utah Northwestern. That was one I forgot. No, that's an interest. That's
Yeah,
probably the best of the rest. Is the biggest one.
Troy just hired somebody's head coach or somebody's offensive coordinator. They just hired a coach today.
Yeah, Troy's. That's Notre Dame's.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
His.
I just saw that.
Well, I couldn't remember his name. Gerard Parker, Notre Dame.
You want to know what the killer
coordinator.
for me was? New Mexico State. Coach Kill just not getting it done.
There's a good
in that playoff.
Yeah, that's in the New Mexico Bowl, which is obviously their rival. And anybody that needs to go look at Coach Jerry Kill's press conference at the end of the game is priceless, because he throws a lot of shade towards the New Mexico program about not where they got to practice. I mean, it was a really good watch and listen, because that guy. He cracks me up, and he's a hell of a coach. He should win Coach of the Year this year, or Odom for UNLV. But hey, Fresno State, I mean, they've had a good program for decades. Some up and downs, but mainly up. And I thought that they'd done good. And UCLA impressed me with their win. Well, UCLA impressed me with their wins. Because,
you were very upset.
Well, I had Boise in my picks, but UCLA impressed me because I thought, new quarterback, Dante Moore.
Losing your defensive coordinator.
Losing the defensive coordinator. Moore went to Oregon. The freshman quarterback, true freshman that started for them, so he's went to Oregon to back up Dylan Gabriel. He is the future there now. But I thought that the biggest thing was that Chip Kelly had been talked about all year about being fired. I mean, the media around there was he's gone, he's done,
his last year,
et cetera. And I thought he came through. They scored, and they finished 8-5, which isn't great. But I mean, UCLA
he beat the high-powered USC offense.
But wouldn't you think that UCLA, if you look at an overall job that's hard to win at, that they think they're better than? I would put that in one. I mean,
that's one of that's one of the
tough
jobs that
you're competing.
We need to win.
You're competing against USC. It reminds me a little bit about Auburn versus the Alabama deal. But UCLA, I mean, you play in the Rose Bowl, which is great, but you don't have an on-campus stadium. That hurts. I don't care what anybody says. So I thought that was a good win.
You're in LA, but you're playing in Pasadena.
And propelled them. So the games, like I said, Utah and Northwestern is going to be interesting. The Northwestern coach stayed from the interim. Utah has the same staff, and they're going to.
I had trouble for our picks because I might end up having to drop a game, so that way we can do the Oklahoma State game because it happens on that Wednesday, but also USC Louisville happens on that Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course, that's next week, isn't it? That's not even this week.
It is, but for next week's picks,
Gotcha.
I'd have to throw these in or tell everybody to give me.
Oklahoma State Texas A&M game really interests me, just because of I want to see. You would think, on paper, because of everybody leaving A&M, that OSU should throttle them.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of wonder how that game's going to turn out. As we've moved on, and we'll give a little highlight or a refresher, I guess I should say, as we move down to the Final Four. Is any of your thoughts changing? Have you moved any which way of how you think about how these games are going on, or the end results? Has anything changed your mind? Or are you still pretty set on?
Oh, Carl.
Because you've got.
Carl said no pokes.
I see that. You've got Alabama and Michigan. No, I mean, sorry. You've got Alabama and Texas in yours, correct?
I don't remember. I honestly don't.
Because like I've said before, I've got Alabama beating Michigan, and
I know everybody wants that game. Everybody wants Alabama Texas Part 2.
I'm leaning.
I know
Washington.
I know one of our female listeners, Craig Sampson. He really wants. He really wants that as well. But you can't look past Washington. And there has been discussion that Washington is a faster team. And
I think they are.
And that's what OU used to beat Texas the first time.
Use a hurry up. I think Penix, while he's had a hell of a year, I think his wide receivers make him the Nduzi 1-11. I can't remember the other guy's name because it's not in front of me right now. But those guys are fast. I think they're going to wear down Texas' defense. Now, one thing that Washington's not, and they shouldn't try to do, is try to pound the ball and try to do it that way early. I think you go fast on them and you keep moving.
You go fast till you get in the red zone and
now,
you pound it.
Quinn Ewers, it's going to have to be his game to win. I know the running back's important.
Well, Brooks is still out. Is he going to be in for that?
No,
Or
Brooks
he
is
still,
out.
He's
No,
going
no,
to still be injured.
No, he's out. No, I was talking about Ewers, though. I think that's the game he's going to have to perform at his highest to win that game. And the defense is going to have to, secondary for Texas is going to be the ones that you keep an eye on is they're going to have to stop that high potent pass offense. Now, and
Because
Ewers,
Washington can get open over the middle.
Ewers, no mistakes.
Wide a lot.
Ewers, no mistakes. And they, on the opposite side, they need to be the one
offensive
pounding the
line
ball.
has to hold up. That offensive line has to be stopped for Texas for them to have a chance.
Texas game plan should be to control the time of possession.
Control their line.
CJ, is it Baxter? I think Baxter's the running back now for Texas. Is it Baxter? Well, we'll get a comment here in a minute. But
Oh yeah,
I'm going off the top of my head on that one because I didn't write that down. But I think that what you're going to see is them try to slow it down and also them try to pound the ball and wear out Washington because Washington size wise on both sides is smaller.
Yeah,
that they are. I mean Texas is way bigger.
CJ
Baxter will be the guy that's going to be carrying the rock for them. So that's the guy that you're going to watch, I think. But I still think Ewers is the most important. Now you flip over, and we'll talk more as we get close. But I'm still thinking Washington by 3 is what I'm leaning right now. I haven't changed on that. And then we've got Alabama and Michigan.
Line's 4 for Texas.
We've got Alabama and Michigan, and that has
4.5.
Yeah. And so you got Alabama. Pull up the Alabama and Michigan. That's the game that you're going to see if the offense for Michigan can keep up with Alabama. And I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
Saban just went out and hired a ex-Michigan guy.
Was that a true story?
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, he went and hired him.
Okay, see, I thought that was like some clickbait stuff. I didn't even look into it. But I think the key to the Alabamas is the run game and Milroe and their defense. That front line for Alabama's got to stop that run game. And then as Michigan, what do you do then? You're going to make J.J. McCartney be the hero and throw it? He's not. I mean, he's had good numbers. There's no doubt about that. But they are a run-first defense type of team. And it's – I would be surprised if Michigan won. I really would.
Yeah.
That would surprise me more than Washington beating Texas.
It would. The players that they have in there for Michigan, not bad guys. A lot of them end up in the NFL.
Oh, huge! Yeah, I mean, that's a great. They've built it the right way for the Big Ten. I just think that the SEC is not the Big Ten.
No, it's not. The defenses are way tighter, way heavier. They stack the box more. They blitz more.
And I think the offense just doesn't have the potent power that they're going to need to beat Alabama.
And they've got secondary that can run man coverage. I don't know where they're getting all their secondary coaches from, but a lot of their secondary seems to be able to run man coverage quite easily.
As what you want, especially in the SEC, and it's exactly what you're going to see OU try to continue to move forward to is running a lot of man in the secondary or a man in as the corners, and that's what you have to get those corners in there to play man. If you can't play man, you're just going to get beat.
You don't even need tall ones; you need speedy ones. You just need fast corners.
Nope, I totally agree on that one.
And because a lot of those small guys can still get up and get the ball, they can still get in the way.
Real quick before I know we had some. Thanks to our listeners for listening last week or last couple of weeks. We've had some audio issues. Give us some feedback if it's any louder on your end, if you can hear it a little better than what it was. So
yeah, because I might have been hitting the wrong microphone.
Please feed us back on that to see if it's any better, so you guys can hear it and not have to.
Kenny's just asking you guys to text him. No, he just likes to be texted.
No, just make sure that it's better, that we got that problem fixed. So anyway, anything else as we close up as the college bowls? We're going to talk a lot more about them.
Crimson Tide wins. Do you think Saban retires?
No, I don't. I don't think he's ready yet. I think he's a young old man. I really do.
You think he's a Joe Pa? Like as soon as he's done with football, he just.
I don't think that about him because I think he's just a young old man. And,
I got that.
And I think it's something important that someone like him. Now, he is going to want to try to win it. Now, would he retire? It wouldn't surprise me. I honestly think he's going to have a going. I think he's going to have a going out season. He seems like the one that might say for the program, hey, this is going to be my last year. We're going to finish it.
You think he's going to do a Bob Stoops and be like, hey, I'm turning the program over to this?
No, actually, I think it's going to be at the beginning of the year or mid-year. Bob waited till the end, and they already had the replacement.
Well, I think a lot of people knew.
That was
Bob
potential,
doing
but
it.
Bob wasn't going to do it
Right.
then. But I think they're going to give it some time, or I think he's going to want a going away season.
5 more years.
No, I do not think that long. But hell, if they're winning, I mean,
Carl says you can hear us really good.
Thanks, Carl. Appreciate
With that
it.
being said, Kenny's loud anyway.
I generally am. So, all right.
Not generally, always.
Let's move on as we talk a little bit about.
Did you deafen Carl the other day?
Did I? No, I want to talk a little bit about.
That was George.
Yeah, that was.
You spit in his eye.
Yeah, that was George. Let's talk a little bit about OU right now. Portal. Looks like we got
We offensive lineman. Who was that guy?
the one that left or the one we're
No,
bringing
the
in.
one bringing it in.
Oh, the guy.
Yeah.
The guy. So we're not going to talk as
Is he? Oh, he's not a portal guy, is he? He's a recruit.
No, he's a recruit.
Okay. Well, I just saw it this morning.
No, but I wanted to find. I really wanted to talk about the Sharp kid because I know that we brought in a kid today.
Let's see, where's the portal?
Yeah, I know. Where is that portal?
Where's that darn old transfer?
Eddie-
Usually it's like right there.
Well, no, Eddie Pierre. Make sure I say his name right. It's Eddie Pierre Lewis.
Eddie PL.
Eddie Pierre Lewis. He's going to be the kid from Tampa Catholic, offensive lineman. He's going to be a guard. He's 24 commit. He committed 3 days ago to OU. You guys go watch the video of him running in a track meet. You would not believe what a 315-pound guy can move.
I've heard about that.
And the strength he's got is nuts. So I think we've got two good offensive lines. The kid from London that did the NFL London deal. So I think the offensive line, because we've lost some people. Obviously, we've lost some people that's going into the draft. And that's what, there's been a lot of bullshit rumors about that is, hey, listen, not everybody's transferring. We had one, or a couple, but one good one that transferred probably because he's getting paid somewhere else.
And he even said that. He came out and said, I'm going to go get paid.
So
do you think when that doesn't work out for him, he's going to regret it?
Who knows? Who cares? I mean,
but a lot of these kids,
there's
they're
regret
going
everywhere.
to end up. They're going to end up with that regret. They're going to end up, I transferred because somebody wanted to pay me, and now all of a sudden, I'm not doing so well. I'm not where I thought I was going to be.
I think what they need to do, and like I've said it before, the Neil and all that stuff getting paid is great. No problem with that. But quit with the immediate transfer. And that money,
but
that
that's
money
what's
will
happening.
stop.
Look at all of Texas A&M.
Yeah, well, free agents.
That's all they do.
I mean, you don't do that in the NFL. I mean, you sign a contract.
Well, unless
And
you
you
sign a 1 year.
No, but
yeah.
I'm saying, but you got to fill, you got to fulfill that contract. You just can't go, oh, wait a minute, then I'm going to leave and hey, I want you to pay me more. It's not unless you do the 1 year contract. But as well as I do, in NFL they want guaranteed contracts, so very rarely do you get that 1 year contract. I think that's what's ruining college football. I think that's actually what's going to bring back. Not that the NFL needed anything, but I think you're going to potentially see the NFL continue that gap to be better.
Right.
Than
But
college.
a lot of these kids that's where they're getting paid, and that's what they believe that this is where they're just going to make their money because they believe they're making more money here than they will in the NFL. Now, the problem is if you go in the NFL and you are a superstar, then you will make your money back.
Yeah.
So-
No, you're right. You'll make it later. So.
So we've got linebacker from USC. How many people USC lost?
Yeah, I want to talk about the 5-star recruit that they lost from Malachi Nelson. That was the guy that had originally committed to OU and then left. He was 5-star at Los Alamitos, I think, California.
We watched his high school career last season.
Year before. Yeah. So no, he ain't any good. Now what? And then you've got the 5-star cornerback leaving. Is that a sign that Lincoln Riley's looking elsewhere? I mean, the Chargers has been mentioned. I honestly don't think any NFL team wants him right now as a head coach. That's just my opinion. So I think I think his agent's out there pumping
out
that
feelers.
I think so too. But as we close that, I mean, that program looks like it's losing a lot. We've lost some, but I think that it's doing good for. I tell you, Ole Miss is the one that's really knocking it out of the park with the portal. You're talking number 1 defensive end. You're talking about number 2.
Well, and that's Lebby coming in. A lot of those guys want to play for Lebby.
Mississippi.
Oh, I thought okay.
No, if I said that was a miss.
It was me. I was thinking.
It was Ole
I was
Miss,
thinking.
so.
I was thinking Lebby. But yeah, And what's going on with that school? I mean, they don't look spectacular on defense. Their offense looks amazing at times.
Yeah. Well, I think,
I compared Lane and Lincoln Riley to each other.
I think they're building that defense, though. To be honest, I mean they really are. Please turn that on. There we go. But no, I would agree with that. So anyway, I don't have anything else on the portal because it wears me out. But I just thought the USC stuff was pretty funny.
But no, I saw a lot of news about
Still looks like
OU's losing their entire offensive line.
That's a nationwide.
But then people aren't realizing what we have coming in.
I'm waiting
guys
on.
that we're getting.
I'm waiting on Ollie Gordon. Sounds like he's going to stay at OSU. Just he hasn't announced it yet. There was some snippets that he said, well, in my time I'll announce. So I don't know if that's going to be during the bowl game or after.
But this is that BS with Caleb Williams and.
But it sounds like
a game time decision.
It sounds like he's going to stay. It looks like he's going to play. So, all right, that's all I have. I mean, it's just the. I mean, we could talk a lot about that. Dylan Raiola, though, that was number one. That's what I wanted to talk about. Flips, number one.
Moore went from UCLA to Oregon?
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Number one quarterback, though, 5-star Dylan Raiola, did leave Georgia.
Brock Vandegrift update. Where's he at?
Kentucky. Went to Kentucky.
We're going to see what happens with that. Brock Vandegrift. He was our favorite for a while.
He was Lincoln's for a while.
He was. I don't see anything coming up in the bowls. We can talk about Oklahoma State, Texas A&M, but I think we'll do that on Tuesday.
We talked a little bit about that already. That's going to be a good game. It's just going to be interesting to see how they play.
I think Oklahoma State's going to have a more complete team because they don't seem to have anybody bolting right now.
Nobody of significance.
And nobody said, hey, I'm setting out.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, and the coaching staff stays intact. For the
four main teams of the playoff, all those guys are staying, except for a couple of backups. But elsewhere, if you're doing a bowl pick, it's a crapshoot. It's been a crapshoot for the last couple years because you don't know who's staying, you don't know who's going until like a week before the bowl, and it's who's setting out, who's doing what, and I don't know how to do it. I just pick off what's there.
Well, I think also you see though that now you still see a few players that haven't really played a lot still leaving those Final Four programs. I think the bowl season becomes more interesting when you move it to that 12-team playoff. It's going to give more validity to the bowls. More people are going to stay because they have that shot of getting to the
and I'm still under the impression that the Florida State Georgia game is going to be all freshmen or underclassmen.
Maybe on both sides. It's going to be interesting to see how that works. I agree.
Even if they have it, because we still haven't heard anything about if they're going to have it.
Yeah, they're going to play. I don't think either one. I don't think Florida State's going to be as.
You think they're going to go to the Big Ten?
I don't know. That's all about the money game, and I can't predict that because the grant of rights was so long out.
There's a way. I saw that they could get out of it, but at the same time, they want to go to the Big Ten because the ESPN deal with the SEC, and they're kind of pissy about that.
Yeah, and
they're pissy about the SEC part and the ESPN tie.
Yeah, and I think if they're realistic,
they'd go to the SEC.
They fit in the SEC.
Yeah, they fit in the SEC. They just go to the SEC, and then they can have that money, and they can be part of that discussion.
The ESPN.
The ESPN. Just make that money back.
No, I agree. And they sent letters, and the Rick Scott, the senator from Florida, sent letters and wanted demands of this.
Well, Georgia did too. Georgia's.
And it's like, I think
Attorney General's got involved.
I think we're kind of done with that now. And honestly, you can say that top four team, that those top four teams are going to be arguing about who their fifth or sixth is. Mm-hmm. We would be as OU fans this year bitching because we didn't make the top 12. We would have finished 13 or 14. So. What are you going to take out of that, there too? I mean, it's just, you can't just keep whining about that. Let's move on, play your bowl game. You got seniors that want to finish out on a win. You got your fans that's going to come pay a lot of money to see you. And it's against Georgia.
Yeah, it's against Georgia. It's going to be a good game.
So, anyway. All right. Moving on. Anything else on colleges? We'll talk a little bit more next week and then still give some more thoughts on the playoff as that gets closer, if anything changes, whether you have – I haven't heard anything.
I think Dylan Raiola going from Georgia to Nebraska because Beck was coming back was one of the biggest things.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it was that. I think he made some money there. I think they went out and Nebraska went, hey,
They
let's pay
spent
this.
just on the quarterback.
Yeah, I do. I think they did. And they should. I mean, that's what that team at Nebraska had.
Do you
one of the
think
best
Will
defenses.
Howard ran Malachi Nelson off?
No, I think that what Lincoln Riley realized though is that what he thought was going to be good ain't as good as he thought. And
All right.
So
Well,
just my opinion. Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about the. We'll keep it brief because we're way.
we going to basketball?
We just a little bit because I want to talk. I want to talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, my Bulls are. I don't. We need a new coach.
No.
There's a good team there, but we need a coach.
Hey, that coach used to be at our team,
I know.
and he sucked there. So
Yeah.
it was So missed out on there. But hey, but you beat the 76ers.
We're winning. We're winning game. We're just not winning the games we should. That's the problem with the Bulls. You know, they're a good team, and they keep talking about trading Levine. It's like you cannot build a team if you keep trading all the guys away.
We're not quite a third into the season, but we're getting close.
And how many times has Oklahoma City lost to Sacramento?
They can't
this
beat
season?
Sacramento.
They cannot beat
They
Sacramento.
cannot. That is the one. If they play them in the playoffs, it's going to be ugly because they cannot.
Sacramento's got
They
Oklahoma
cannot do
City's
that.
number.
And I also wanted to let everyone know out there in Facebook, Twitter, Spotify. What else are we on?
We're on a lot of things.
A lot of things.
Just social media.
That don't fall asleep like our guest did tonight because I knew he was tired. So,
Really?
yeah.
Ladies
If we're
and
that
gen-
damn boring, I'm sorry.
Ladies
But
and,
anyway,
ladies and gentlemen, our special guest, Case and Riley has gone to sleep.
he so wanted to be out
Face
here.
down.
Yeah, we did. Well, no, he was watching his show, but he wanted to be. We did the sound test last week, and he loved it and was talking. He had to be on here. So, sweet dreams to this little one as he
Is he
knew.
snoring?
No, it was. But anyway, as we, I want to talk a little bit about the Thunder before we get to our closing.
Dude, we're only 30 minutes in. 38.
I know.
This is going up. All right, so you want to
Sports
talk
is
about
just
Shai
all- yeah.
Gilgeous and
He's MVP right now. I think. I really do. And it's Shai Gilgeous Alexander. They're currently
I
right.
like Shai Gilgeous.
They're currently the 2 seed right now in the West. But I think
It's still early in the season.
But I think it is. It's very early. Like I said, we're not quite to a third of our way in. But
surprising team for me this season, Golden State.
they're just getting old.
You know what? Draymond Green finally got his comeuppance. Congratulations, because I never liked him.
Guy plays hella defense. Could guard one of the best guys.
But
But
he'll punch you in the mouth if he gets upset.
they should have done this last year.
Oh, yeah.
Or was it the year before?
Well,
when
either-
him and
either-
Steven Adams. He hit
either one.
Steven Adams in the groin like 3 times.
Yeah, either one.
during
They
the
should have
game.
done it. They should have done it last year before that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's their own damn fault.
And
so.
Zion update. Well, that generational talent is.
I don't think I ever called him that, but I did.
But we know. We were just making fun
but
of it.
I did. I was afraid he would eat himself out of the league, and he hasn't yet. But he's still not.
Well, he's
got
to pay for the baby mamas now and the new wife.
He's definitely not in shape for what that goes. But hey, Thunder 94-66. Thank you, everyone. If you're listening from the Oklahoma City area that voted last week with a resounding 70%.
Kenny is so happy about
70%.
that.
Well, that's huge for Oklahoma City and huge for Oklahoma because that continues to get the big league. Now, you build a new arena. Now you've got possibilities. Not that I'm going to ever say that hockey, NHL could come because I think we're going to split up a lot of money.
Tulsa would be the better hockey team.
But hold on. But that, exactly what I was getting to. But once you get to that state and the money and the people in that suburban area, it's huge. I mean, that's what's going to grow that economy there. So,
He's snoring.
now that'll be memories right there. You can't come on again till you're not snoring.
Yeah.
So anyway,
No, but I can see Tulsa as a hockey town. We just need to get the expansion. We need to somehow.
Counties is going to be interesting because they're going to go somewhere.
I don't know. They will not let them go.
It-
Arizona will not let them go.
and they need to. So they really need to. So, but anyway, basketball. I mean, if this is the time of year, right around Christmas is when basketball really kicks off for most people. They kind of let it slide for a while
It's
because of third
funny.
of the season.
It's funny because the NFL's trying to take over that basketball money.
Well, that was NBA's worst nightmare is to have Christmas on a
and
Saturday, Sunday,
yeah.
or a Monday.
And so
because
the
goes-
NFL is like, hey, wait a minute, we're gonna have our first ever Black Friday game. Was that right? Yeah. And then they were like, then we're gonna have our first ever Christmas Eve game
I
or
think
Christmas Day.
Yeah, and I think yes, and I think though that what's funny about that is I think now this is all conjecture, rumors, but I think that used to there was this like understood agreement that they wasn't going to mess with
nobody.
Christmas Day.
Yeah,
and then NFL's like, let's stop. In my opinion, I don't think the NBA should start till Christmas. That's just my opinion.
I would say New Year.
No, well, either way, but they start that week.
Well, so that and
then they play into August or September.
That stupid
why couldn't
cup,
you do that?
That stupid cup that they did. I don't know why they don't do that in the preseason.
Or do something like that. I don't think that was a bad idea, honestly. And I think
it just made no sense to me to be mid-season.
No,
cup,
but
early season.
It was something that $500,000 to each player that won was a pretty impressive number to pass out. So I thought they at least threw the money out there, and it made some of these games but interesting. But yeah, I mean, you pull up the Christmas games for the NFL, like Vegas at Kansas City, New York at Philadelphia, and Baltimore at San Francisco. Now,
Baltimore, San Francisco is going to be the most.
That's going to be great. Now, beginning of the year, Vegas, Kansas City sounded better, and so did the Giants and the Eagles. But no, I think that, and that's Monday, and then you've got a full slate of games on Christmas Eve.
We haven't talked about DeVito's agent.
That was pretty good. And good for him. Now, their 3-game
This guy's becoming famous just because he looks like a Guido.
Their third, I think they had their 3-game winning streak ended.
It finally,
on that one.
New Orleans.
Yes, so, which, that sucks.
And your wife took New Orleans.
Yeah, and I wish.
No, took the
Well,
Giants.
I needed New Orleans to lose that one because that would have put Tampa and Soul. I mean, by themselves.
Right. You needed.
They still got the tiebreakers. So
you still got 3 games left.
Currently, right now, update with the Thunder, 96-71 against the Memphis Grizzlies. It's fourth quarter, 10 minutes left. And then what is your update on the NFL game?
Current update with the Eagles.
10-3.
Gotcha. Well, let's just go ahead. See, and that's why I pulled Jalen Hurts. Somebody's mom's here. Yeah. Pulled Jalen Hurts. Put in Brock Purdy, and that's what I'm going to be facing Destiny in the winners portion of our fantasy league.
I will currently not finish last. Thank you. I looked like I was.
You were trying. You were trending towards Turd Town.
Yes.
Okay. I think Mommy's gonna.
And we're gonna get our little guest.
Mommy's gonna pop it. Hey.
You're all right.
Hey, look over. Look,
there's Mom right there.
There's Mommy.
Mom's gonna help you out.
All right, everybody. We're gonna go ahead. This is our shortest episode ever. We're doing 45 minutes.
We are. So
anyway, we had a lot of quickness, and we weren't ready. And by the way, I have to do.
We were always ready.
I have to.
Our guest speaker wasn't ready. He was sleepy.
I have to apologize for everything that I put out for the Saturday game. That the diva to the left of me decided that he just wasn't ready, and he didn't do enough.
Okay, so that was going to be our play-by-play game. So we're going to reschedule that.
You said
no, I did, and it was, and
that was the first time I put out all the stuff on the social media.
And so next time when it comes out, I'll be ready. I had unexpected things happen this week, so
it's definitely not delivering to Jiffy Mart.
I wanted to be.
They're empty.
I know. I wanted to be ready, and I wasn't. So we're going to do a play-by-game. We're going to have fun with that. That's just going to be something we want some of our fans, if they're watching the game,
it's a bonus episode,
to put us on there and listen and see if there's any interest in anything that we do.
Well, there's other people that do. There's people that do their games. Like there's a guy that does the Broncos. There's a guy that does Packers.
Yeah.
No, they do the whole game. They'll do the start to finish.
We wanted to pick a random game, so we'll pick another one before the season's ending or the season ends, because we'll still have what do we got 2 weeks or 3 weeks left in NFL, and then we've got playoffs. So we'll kind of set up what we do for that. But no, I think that the NFL, as we close up a little bit, and I think the college right now, to me, some of these bowl games are very boring, and I think used to we would sit and watch. I mean, I'd be watching these things all night.
Well, that's because the kids stayed and the kids were
interested.
Bowl games,
and that's college football's problem.
The bowls had a meaning. The bowls meant something to the team.
And now now college football playoff is what you need to do is start filling.
The BCS, I would say the BCS killed that.
Filling the bowl. Well, I think I don't know. I think
that's when it started going downhill. That's when it stopped mattering.
I don't know. I think immediate transfer is what.
Well, the portal also, killed it. So All right, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, thanks for joining us. I appreciate everyone for this episode. We'll see you on Tuesday, the day after Christmas. I'll talk about all the gifts that I got and none of the gifts that Sean got me. And
I'll talk about none of the gifts that I got because I don't have Christmas.
So anyway, thanks for joining us. I appreciate everyone. We'll see you next week. Thanks.
All right, bye, guys. Hold on now. I got to turn all that. There it is.